Hi, this is the Black Mormon Reader, and I will be reading verses from the 47th chapter of Alma. Now, Amalickiah and those who had fled with him into the wilderness went up to the land of Nephi among the Lamanites, and did stir up the Lamanites to anger against the people of Nephi, insomuch that the king of the Lamanites set forth a proclamation throughout all his land, among all his people, that they should gather together for battle against the Nephites. When the proclamation had gone forth among them, they were exceedingly afraid. They feared to displease the king, and they also feared to battle against the Nephites. And it came to pass that all the people would not listen to the commandments of the king. The king was wroth because of their disobedience. Therefore he gave Amalickiah the command of that part of the army which had been obedient unto his commandments, and command him that he should go forth and compel the others to join forces. Now behold, this was the desire of Amalickiah, to do evil. Therefore, he laid the plan in his heart to dethrone the king of the Lamanites. Now he got the command of those parts of the Lamanites who were in favor of the king, and he sought to gain the favor of those who were not obedient. Therefore he went forth to the place which was called Onidah, for thither had all the Lamanites fled. They discovered the army coming, and supposing that they were coming to destroy them, therefore they fled to Onidah, to the place of arms, and they appointed a man to be king or leader over them, and fixed in their mind with a determined resolution that they would not be subjected to the Nephites. They had gathered themselves together upon the top of Mount, which is called Antipas, in preparation for battle. It was not Amalickiah's intention to give them battle according to the commandments of the king. His intention was to gain favor with the army of the Lamanites, that he might place himself at their head and dethrone the king and take possession of the kingdom. And behold, it came to pass that he caused his army to pitch his tents in the valley which was near the mount of Antipas. When it was night, he sent a secret ambassador into the Mount Antipas, desiring that the leader of those who were on the mount, whose name was Lehonti, that he should come down to the foot of the mount, for he desired to speak with him. When Lehonti received the message, he durst not go down to the foot of the mount. Amalickiah sent again the second time, desiring him to come down, and came to pass that Lehonti would not come. And this happened a third time. And it came to pass that when Amalickiah found that he could not get Lehonti to come down from the mount, he went up to the mount, nearly to Lehonti's camp, and sent forth again the fourth time, desiring that he should come down, and that he should bring his guards with him. And it came to pass that when Lehonti had come down from the guards to Amalickiah, that Amalickiah desired him to come down with his army in the night time and surround the camp of those men over whom the king had given him command. He would deliver them into the hands of Lehonti, if he would make him Amalickiah the second leader in command over the army. And it came to pass that Lehonti came down with his men and surrounded the men of Amalickiah, so that when they woke up before dawn, they was surrounded. When they saw that they were surrounded, they pleaded with Amalickiah that he would suffer them to fall with their brethren, that they may not be destroyed. Now this was the very thing which Amalickiah desired. So we got these forces joined together. And it came to pass that he delivered his men contrary to the command of the king. Now, now this was he desired. Now it was a custom among the Lamanites to appoint the second in command to be the chief leader in case something happened to the first leader. Now, when it came to pass that Malachi administered poison to Lahonti by degrees, and he died, and he was appointed the leader. And it came to pass that Amalickiah marched with his armies, for he had gained the desire to the land of Nephi, and to the city of Nephi, which was a city. And the king came out to meet him with his guards, supposing that Amalickiah had fulfilled his command and had gathered a great army to go battle against the Nephites. But behold, as the king came down to meet Amalickiah, causing that his servants should go forth to meet the king, and they went forth and bowed down themselves before the king as if to show him reverence. And when the king put forth his hand to raise them, as was the custom among the Lamanites, as a token of peace, which was they had taken from the Nephi. And it came to pass that when the king raised the first from the ground, behold, he stabbed the king in the heart, and the king fell upon the earth. Now the servants of the king fled, and the servants of Amalickiah raised the cry, saying, behold, the servants of the king have stabbed him to the heart, and he has fallen dead, and they fled into the wilderness. And it came to pass that Amalickiah commanded that his army should march forth and see what had happened. And when they found the spot where the king is dead, he went forth and he said that they should pursue those servants. And it came to pass that they all who loved the king came forth and pursued the servants of the king. And when the servants of the king saw that the army pursuing them, they were frightened, and they fled into the wilderness and came over into the land of Zarahemla and joined the people of Ammon. And the army pursued them, returned in vain, and thus Amalickiah by fraud gained the hearts of the people. Then it came to pass that he entered into the city of Nephi with his army and took possession of the city. And then it came to pass that the queen, when she had heard that the king was slain, she sent unto Malachiah, desiring him that he would spare the people of the city, and she desired that he would come unto her, and she also desired that he would bring witnesses to testify him concerning the death of the king. And Malachiah took his servants that slew the king with him, and of course they lied to her, and thus they testified to the queen concerning the death of the king. And it came to pass that Amalickiah sought the favor of the queen, and he took her unto him to be his wife. And thus by his fraud and by his assistance and by the assistance of his cunning servants, he obtained the kingdom. He was acknowledged king throughout all of the land, and all of the people of the Lamanites who were composed of the Lamanites and the Lamanites and the Ishmaelites, and all the descendants of the Nephi, from the reign of Nehi on down to the present. And now the descendants, having the same information of all the Nephites, having been instructed in the same knowledge of the Lord. Nevertheless, it is strange to relate, not long after their dissension, they became more hardened and more wicked and more wild and ferocious than the Lamanites, drinking with the traditions of the Lamanites and giving away in indulgences and all manners of lasciviousness, yea, entirely forgetting the Lord their God. That note, we'll stop until next time. This is